And go. Hi, everyone.
Okay, yeah.
Good evening, everyone. It's a beautiful Thursday once again. We have with us the Energy Exchange with my co-host, Chef Doolittle.
Hey
Chef!
guys! What's up? What's up? Parang na-miss ko to
And we have a special guest with us today. Pero before I introduce our special guest, we want to explain to you what exactly our topic today. Our topic today, that's why we have this special guest, is about taxes. Alam naman ninyo, April, kahit natapos na ang deadline ng taxes,
Parang di natatapos.
baka marami pa dyan na delayed or hindi pa nagfa-file. So, pwede pa. Sinasabi namin pwede pa, pero meron lang kayo penalty. Okay? Pero, we still want to talk about taxes. And more than that, it's really tax for entrepreneurs. Because I find that the taxes for entrepreneurs is much more complicated than the normal corporate tax na personal income tax kasi napaka-fixed rate lang. Pero sa entrepreneur, it's more complicated. And now, because I'm going into entrepreneurship, that's where I also want to learn about it more. And because of this lady here that I just met, and we met last year, and I've learned about her so much. And she is actually the point person. Kung meron kang subject matter expert, siya na yun. Okay?
Yeah,
And so
for sure.
for tonight, we have a special guest with us who is si Ginger TV. Congratulations, Ginger TV. And basically the founder and owner of Taxumo. It's the one and only tax app and even services here in the country that is all inclusive. So if you're ready to really understand about your tax and you don't want to really delve into it and you want to give it to someone else, Taxumo will be the people for you. And more importantly, she's also the leader for Lean in Manila, wherein both of us, and I actually am a leader circle under her, and we're so excited to grow this leadership circle in the country as well. So for tonight, please, everybody, welcome our special guest, Miss Ginger Arboleda.
Yeah.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So good evening, Coach Charlene and Jeff. Thank you for inviting me here. Ayan, I'm sure nga maraming naghahabol. Kasi actually, extended naman ang walang penalties hanggang May 15. Pero yung dapat nakapag-file na sila nung April 15. kahit mali. Kahit na mali. So amendments na lang ang gagawin nila.
Kasi binasa ko walang extension.
Walang extension.
Yes, walang extension. So, kahit na mag-file, inisip ko nga parang mag-file ka na, mag-overpay ka na lang tapos mag-amend.
Yeah, yes. Tama. Actually, pero, just to share...
before Gats,
na-excite ako.
Mabilis ba mag-rebate ang gobyerno kung nag-overfile ka? Yun ang first question.
Ibang usapan na yan.
Based on experience, don't quote me on this though. This is just like personal experience. Before, ang tagal. But kasi you have to prepare, and obviously most of them go through audits, mag-audit pa yan, and then that's when they give you the refund, no? So ang ginagawa ko na lang, it's really carry over na lang ako for the next year pag meron akong negative.
Okay, so mas mabuti na, Jenj, na mag-overpay ka para walang penalty. Kasi lugi ka kung hindi ka na, di ba? Kasi meron pang penalty Kung nag-underpay ka, lugi ka. Kung overpay ka, lugi ka.
Either way, di ba? Parang wala kang kawala.
Di ba ang saya? Ang saya ng
Saya ng intro natin, di ba?
Kanina pa kasi kami nag-uusap, no? To everyone who's watching, kanina pa kami nag-uusap about different topics. So, yeah. So, I really got into this, no? Because just to give people a background also on who I am not a CPA, but I am a business owner. So, I've been a business owner siguro my first business was in 2010. like contrary to what people know, na Manila Workshops is my first
Yeah.
business. No, it wasn't. I had another partnership naman na business like before that. So, but my first business that people know about is Manila Workshops, and it was there since 2013. No? So I've been an entrepreneur since 2013, and then we established nga Taxumo in 2016. So it's still here, trying to help people understand taxation and all of these things. So that's how I got to understand and learn more about taxes and accounting and all of these things, all of these fun
Grabe,
and
no?
sexy things.
Of all things,
Tax,
of
di
all
ba?
things, taxes.
Yes.
Grabe.
Yeah.
How did you think that it will be Taxumo is where you wanted
Yeah. Oo nga.
your business to be? Imagine mo, ang
Yeah.
laki ng difference from Manila Workshop. Biglang,
Yes.
di ba Manila Workshop is about different lessons, webinar, and such.
Yes.
Tapos biglang naging taxes.
Taxes.
Sobrang serious, di ba? So yeah, that's true, no, coach? So parang Manila Workshops was really a lifestyle, more of a lifestyle educational business. No, we would teach people if they want to take a step closer towards being an entrepreneur, no, or being a freelancer. So that's how it started. And then while doing it, I realized that one of the big things why people really fail when it comes to starting a business is because they don't understand their finances. No, I mean even your personal finances.
Oh, yeah.
Aminin na natin, like a lot of us, we don't understand the basics of even investments, diba? Investments grow
Yeah.
your money, and even saving, we don't get to save. But that's not naman our fault, no? Because we grew up in an environment where people really, wala eh. We're not a rich country, diba? So all of the things that, all of the salary or the paycheck that we get, it really goes to to sustaining a family, to sustaining our loved ones, diba? So you can't blame people as well. But I think we should take that step forward in understanding already our finances. Kasi you can't solve something or you can't find a solution to something if you don't understand it, diba? So
Agree.
that's how I really got into like kami ng husband ko. This is like our business together with two other co-founders, a tax lawyer and a marketing person. Yeah, so we were four when we started this idea. Actually five, no. We had a CPA partner as well, but he just stepped back a bit because he had to concentrate on his family, but he's still there sa papers. So we're but now actively we are four co-founders. So in terms of being an entrepreneurship naman, I think what sets entrepreneurs apart is really, the mission or the impact that we want to create. People say kasi
Right.
ano ba yung difference ng entrepreneurship talaga or even a startup as compared to like any kind of business. So normally when we say startups, like what we are technology-based startup. What we want is basically to magnify the impact that we create. No? So in Manila Workshops, it wasn't really, it was a business. No? It was a educational business, but it wasn't a startup. I wouldn't call it a tech startup because it was very face-to-face,
Yes.
relationship
Live, yeah.
based, yes, live. But for Taxumo, it's a different thing, no? It's a different thing because we get to help thousands of people, diba, with their taxes. Relationship is still there, but in terms of scaling, when you talk about scaling, it's easier to scale. It's easier to touch a lot of people's lives with this kind of business model, no? With this kind of business, basically.
Right.
So entrepreneurships, it's not more just about profit. It's really about the purpose that you want to create also and the impact that you want to create.
Wonderful. I super like the fact that you said it's also technology. How is it now in terms of bakit mo sinabi technology yung Taxumo? What's the difference between what you did before in terms of Manila Workshop?
Oh yeah. Well, with Manila workshops, I really had to have like an on-ground team na nag-hi sa reception, diba? All of these things. If you take Manila workshops and turn it into a digital business, these are like your online courses, no? Something like I'm sure like some people are familiar with Udemy or
Yes.
Coursera, all of these things,
Yes.
no? So where you touch more people's lives because it's not very geographical based or very manual in essence. All of
Actually.
the processes are not that manual. So for Taxumo, when people think kasi about, or let's say when they think about taxes, diba?
Right.
They think, ay nako, kailangan ko mag-fill out ng forms, kailangan ko pumila sa BIR, kailangan ko pumunta sa bank within the revenue district office, the city where their business is located, no? So we sort of like we eliminated all of those, no? Na hindi mo na kailangang pumila, you don't need to leave your house to prepare, file, and pay your taxes. And also, you don't have to have an accounting background. Basically, you can, what the user does is you just key in your income and expenses. Tracking is crucial, no? And then you can basically file your taxes. And your accountants can actually help you grow your business. Because, alam mo yun, like, accountants are there not to make pila for you, diba? Hindi naman sila taga-pila or hindi sila runners, diba? But the job of accountants are basically to help you analyze the data,
Yeah,
diba? Analyze
exactly.
like where can you save up on, diba? Where can you grow your business? Where can you cut down on costs? And the good thing about Taxumo is every subscription comes with delegate access, and then you can give that access to the accountant and tell them na, uy, can you help me naman analyze these things? Can you help me create reports or all of those things? No? So that's how we're helping right now, no? Both the accountants and the users. Kasi for accountants, mo, you can now handle like multiple clients. Hindi ka na kailangan diba? 30 lang kailangan ko. 30 lang guys. Kasi pipila pa ako sa Makati, sa City. Diba? Babayad pa ako online. Isa-isahin ko pa to. But now, you can do away with that and just, get retainers fee for guiding them, diba? Growing their business.
Yeah. And actually, there are two things that I just want to share lang na realize ko, no. First part, yung from the customer's point of view or the user's point of view, their life is easier. They don't need to be so complicated and understanding, kailangan ito gagawin ko. Basta i-send ko, sa kayo ng bahala. That's one, which will make my life easier. And on the other hand, though, you're also helping a lot of accountants. By the way, ang dami kong kilalang accountants. Bakit ba? Pero ang komplikado ng taxes sa Pilipinas, ang daming accountant, pero yung accountants, hindi ko alam na saan diba? So, actually, ang dami pwedeng maging freelancers na accountants. Actually, ang dami freelancers accountants sa kita ko.
Yes, exactly. So, yung mga freelancer accountants na kilala mo or mga nanonood, kontakin nyo lang kami.
Hi!
Kasi kung kailangan nyo ng clients, may mga clients kami, diba?
Oh, yeah.
We can help you. Yeah, later.
Actually.
Uy, okay yan. So, for those looking work, meron na kayong bagong work. So, this is not just about taxes, but we're also giving you a venue for you, lalo na mga accountants out there, lalo na kung CPA kayo, please contact Ginger Arboleda for work. Okay? If you need work nowadays. And Ginger TV. Mamaya nakaano naman sa kanya, diba? Search lang yung Ginger Arboleda, lalabas na yan sa Google. Lalabas na yan sa Google.
Speaking of accountants, actually, ako kasi personally, while I'm in the financial services industry now, I'm a CPA by profession. So recently, I have been connecting with my accountant friends with their firms. Ngayon ko lang uli naisip na, parang, kasi naghahanap din sila ng clients eh. Kasi parang, because of the current pandemic, parang lahat sila na-realize na pwede ako mag-freelance. Pero one of their concerns nga then is to, sino yung mga first few clients na I can handle. So,
Yeah.
why not tax sumo? Oo nga naman, diba?
Yeah.
And tawa ko
Yeah.
ng tawa kanina just to share kasi naalala ko lang yung times na yung accountant, totoo yan yung pumipila para magbayad sa bangko. Kasi I had clients before. Yun ang ginagawa namin talaga. And I would say a very good reminder for me and all the accountants out there na iba na yung situation right now. Not only because nakakatakot lumabas, pero we already have something like TaxSumo to really, get everyone connected faster and more convenient.
Yeah, I think more than that is also the fact that, kunyari, ako, lalo na ngayon, ang dami ng entrepreneurs, ang dami ng small business owners. Hindi lang siya yung dati na, actually, sa tingin ko, tumaas na Actually, 41% increase in the number of businesses this year to 900,000 new businesses registered in the country. Tapos 88,000 nun nasa online. Ibig sabihin nun, a lot more people really need tax people to help, tax help in reality. Ako mismo, pumunta ako, naguluhan ako sa mga steps, and even naka-ready na yung steps, hindi still clear. Kasi kunyari, starting pala, kukuha ka pala ng professional tax receipt. Ang gulo-gulo na. Akala ko sa Makati, hindi pala sa Makati. Pumunta pa ako ng Taguig. Pagpunta ko ng Taguig, sira ang system. Ang tagal-tagal. 3 beses pa ako bumalik para lang makuha ko yung tax receipt. After nun, hindi pa tapos. Meron ka pang BIR.
Dami.
Ang komplikado. Ang dami mong steps. And it's really confusing. Baka the first thing we can talk to everyone about here is when you talk about entrepreneurs ba, ano ba talaga definition ng entrepreneur?
Yeah. Like kanina, no, what I said is probably like it's more of the impact nga. No? That's the only naman the difference. That's the only difference, with regard to like entrepreneurship and when you compare it to traditional businesses. I think in these times lang, there are a lot of new models There are a lot of new business models. There are a lot of new businesses to get into. Dati naman, wala naman tayong tinatawag na e-commerce, di ba? So, yung e-commerce, digital workers, virtual assistants. So, I think the main challenge talaga of a lot of people now is like we don't have basically a standard definition of what the different businesses are, especially the new businesses. No? So, like when you say digital work or digital business, what do you actually mean? When I run ads on Facebook, does that mean digital? I'm digital already. I'm a digital business. I'm a digital professional. Diba? So, or when I write online or when I blog or when I vlog on YouTube, is that called digital? Am I a digital worker? Is that a business? Diba? Is it a profession? So ganon, no? But in terms of the rules naman or the law in the Philippines, it's very simple, straightforward. If you earn income or you earn, period, by any means, no? Like whatever gawin mo, mag-resell ka ng cookies, magbenta ng taho, magbenta sa Lazada, Shopee, or whatever e-commerce platform, and if you earn, you have to declare taxes for it. That's as simple as like it can get, no? So, so in terms of like the definition in terms of like paying taxes or in relation to paying taxes, I think that's the simplest definition that I can give.
Yeah.
So even if you are earning from, let's say, a client abroad, because we have a lot of freelancers here who are like doing professional services, they're giving professional services.
Yes.
You still have to pay because that income still comes here to our in the Philippines and you earn it here. In terms of OFWs, iba naman yan kasi wala sila sa bansa natin, and it's basically nandun sila that's their sacrifice. I'm just assuming that the law was made na hindi sila kailangan mag-pay ng taxes because they are in another country, diba? Sacrificing and not seeing their family, not being with us here in the country, diba? So that's how it works. Yon.
Yeah, and not only that, with the OFWs kasi, you're not living in the country. You're not using the whatever is lahat roads. You're not using the roads. You're not using the services. You're not, you're not here. Plus, they're actually bringing the money back into the country so that their families will spend. So I think that's the difference. But I really like how you define entrepreneur, that it's really as long as you earn money, you are an entrepreneur. Very great. Pero let's also talk about people kasi here maybe wondering, nabebenta lang ako ng taho. Yes, nabebenta ka lang ng taho, pero nag-earn ka pa rin. So, kailangan mo pa rin magbayad ng tax. I think that's what we need to re-emphasize to everyone there. Basta nagbenta ka, kailangan kang magbayad ng tax.
Yes. And and sometimes sometimes they think kasi na parang, hindi, unfair naman kasi yung tax rules natin dito Kaya, maliit lang kinikita ko, ba't ko pa, alam mo yun, ba't pa ako magsuspend for tax? Diba? Pero there's naman, our rules, I think, our tax rules are very forgiving. Kasi it depends really on the gross income or yung kinikita mo. No? So most of the computations that we have for the taxes is based on ano yung kinikita mo. So if hindi ka kumikita, there are chances na kailangan mo lang mag-file and zero yung i-declare mo because wala kang kinita ng mga panahon na yon. So this also addresses yung question ng karamihan na, what if kikita ako this month, next month wala akong kita, the month after may kita ulit ako. So it's still like that, diba? Kasi it's really based on what you are earning, yung gross revenue mo.
Oh, okay. So, what if for the questions maybe people for out there, anong mga taxes na dapat mo bayaran if you're an entrepreneur?
Okay, so there are two big segments kasi of taxpayers in the Philippines, no? So one is the non-VAT businesses or professionals. The other is the VAT, diba? Yung mga VAT entities, VAT businesses, and VAT professionals. So the difference is VAT entities normally earn 3 million gross revenue, or yung kita nila, yung amount na kinikita nila sa buong taon in the whole year is basically more than 3 million pesos. So yun. So if it's below 3 million, you are a non-VAT entity. Now, sometimes when you go and register, the BIR, the government office, usually gives you like VAT. Kasi they think in the line of business that you are, like for example, mag-explain ka syempre, diba, ng business mo. For example, sinabi mong exporter ka. So, and sinabi mong non-VAT ka, pero they think that you will eventually reach 3 million, they can put VAT there. So, it's up to you now to negotiate. So, it doesn't lie naman lagi sa decision ng the person behind the desk, no, in the BIR. You have to justify. If you think na, boss, kasi this year, I don't think aabot talaga ako ng 3 million. I think in 2 years na hindi ako aabot. So, you still have to know. That's a reason why all of us, when we get into business, we need to know at least the foundation or at least the basics, no, of what these things are. So that if you want to make decisions like this, you can readily make decisions, no? Hindi mo na kailangan, ay, sinabi niya kasi yung back and forth minsan, diba? Parang, ay, tika, kailangan ko pang i-Google, bakit nga ba VAT, diba? Or, alam mo yun, like parang, so it takes time. And nandun ka na diba? Sa government office At binigyan ko ng VAT Yeah.
Pero Ginger, question ko, pwede ka ba, kunyari ngayon VAT ako, pwede ba ako mag-change to non-VAT or other way around?
Pwede, but you have to wait for 3 years. So it's in the rules na parang kailangan 3 years. You have to present also audited financial statements or financial statements na if you're non-VAT to prove na hindi ka talaga umabot dun sa let's say sa threshold na yon. So you can shift to non-VAT after 3 years. So,
question, kunyari, let's say reseller ako, pero yung item na binili ko wala siyang resibo. Yung cost of goods wala siyang resibo. Paano ko siya ngayon ilalagay sa VAT or non-VAT, whether VAT or not VAT, na cost of goods ko magkano? Paano yun?
Sadly, and our law kasi states that all of these things have to have supporting documents. Okay, so And dapat talagang may official receipt ka or sales invoice. So if walang ganon, it's very hard to basically talk to the auditor later on if that or the BIR examiner if that happens, because you can just write on a piece of paper and no one can say if that's real or not, diba? I mean, diba, whatever, I can just put na bumili ako ng ganito sa and just claim that it's an expense, diba? But yun, so that is the reason why medyo strict tayo sa ganyang, well, medyo strict ang BIR sa ganyang bagay, no? You really have to have official receipts and all of these things, official receipts and invoices, so that may supporting documents. There.
Kaya siguro a little complicated maybe for a lot of people, because if you're like a reseller and the person that you're getting the goods from don't even have a receipt, how can you now pay the taxes?
Yes.
Actually.
Yeah, that's true. So the complication really sets in when, kasi it's an ecosystem. When you think of the businesses here in the Philippines, it's basically an ecosystem, diba? Yung binibenta mo, binibili ko. Yung binibenta ko, binibili niya, diba? So every, it goes around basically, no? So,
yes.
So one of the, siguro, just to answer as well your questions on the different taxes. Sige, I'll start with this because I mentioned ecosystem. We have what we call the withholding taxes, no? So when you buy from a supplier, no? So from a supplier, some of the entities or the businesses in the Philippines are tagged, no? Or are tagged by the BIR as withholding tax agents. So what does that mean? Think of these people or business entities as mini BIR, mini agents, no? So when they are a withholding tax agent, what they do is, if I pay Jeff, for example, meron akong binili kay Jeff. If I pay Jeff will now, I will now withhold a certain amount of my payment from Jeff and give him a form called the 2307 form. So that form basically is a proof that I already paid a portion of Jeff's taxes for him, no? So that's how it works. So that's why ecosystem, that's why BIR mandates all of these withholding tax agents to report kung sino yung mga wini-withholdan nila. So para malaman ni BIR sino yung mga dapat magbayad pa. So we get some clients in Taxumo who say, ay, uy, alam nyo, parang paano to? Ganito ba talaga na nape-penalize ako? Hindi naman ako registered. Maybe that particular person na lumapit sa amin to ask that, no? Or actually marami sila. People, they are, probably they receive payment from someone who is a withholding tax agent or a business which is a withholding tax agent. That's why nakita ng BIR na yung TIN nila, di ba, pag binigay mo yung TIN, usually tinatanong sa'yo ng client mo, ano yung TIN mo? Ano yung full name mo? Withholdan kita ha? Tapos ikaw naman, oo ka lang, oo, kasi hindi mo naintindihan, di ba? So yun yung, that's how BIR gets information, no? So it's through these withholding tax agents. So that's one tax. So that's withholding. The other,
cash na lang. Everyone cash lang. Wala na.
Huwag niyo na ako withholdan.
Huwag niyo ako withholdan. Cash lang tayo.
Ay, Jeff, naka-mute ka. Just in case, Yeah. So but the thing is, for withholding tax agents, I know that they also get penalized if they did not withhold from payments. So ganun din, sila din, they're scared because if nakita yan, inaudit sila at hindi sila nag-withhold, they get penalized also for it. So pareho lang tayong takot. So gawin na lang natin yung tama. Yan. So then the other type of taxes, which is the very popular tax, no? So we're going through the taxes already for those who are watching. The second type of tax, which is the most popular because of the April 15 deadline, is called income tax. Okay? Yes. So income tax is basically kaya income because it's your revenue less your expenses, diba? So ganun. Yan yung alam mong tax. So just to simplify, so ganun siya. So it's revenue less expenses. And then you have your taxable income. So you get your by subtracting that, you get a taxable income. And then your taxable income then this is where you apply your tax rate. Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
yung tax rate mo, you have from before 2018, we call it the graduated tax table. Bakit siya graduated? Because based on magkano yung kinikita mo, there is a certain percentage that you have to pay. So that's basically, I'm telling you yung simplified version. So ganun siya. There's a percentage that you have to pay.
Kasi sa ibang countries, fixed rate no?
Yes. Now,
Sa
for
atin,
fixed
iba.
rate, yung fixed rate, exactly, iba-iba, no? So, that's why when people say, so magkano, or yung mga clients nyo from the foreign countries will ask, magkano yung tax rate? So, ikaw parang hindi mo rin alam kasi anong sasagot
Depende.
ko dito? Depende, diba? So yeah, and miski na sila, don't get me wrong, miski na sila, nalilito sila kasi grabe yung complicated pala ng tax return. Yeah.
Pero what I want to tell people lang, there are two things. If you're really working under a corporation, automatic may withholding tax ni sila. Meron silang income tax. Bibigyan ka lang nila ng form. Oo, yung form na yan. Kaya yun lang alam ko kasi hinihintay ko lang, kailan niya bibigay ito? Kasi ibig sabihin, na-submit na nila. Na-file na nila kay every April. Before pa nga April, March, meron na kami. Pero kasi automatic pag corporations, ready na sila. Pero pag ikaw gumagawa sarili, doon na naging complicated. Maybe, Ginger, ang question ko sa'yo, paano na kunyari may income tax ka, pero ngayon mag-i-entrepreneur ka kasi sabi natin ngayon multiple streams of income. So, paano mo na i-handle yun?
Okay. So, sorry, just to add to what you were saying, no? In the Philippines kasi, what is actually the normal way is all of us file on our own, no? So that's actually the normal way. But the thing is, because a lot of us are employees and we were like educated to be employees, alam mo yun, you go up the ladder and all of those, we think yung substituted filing, kaya siya substituted filing is the normal way. So, but it's not, no? So, we actually need to file our taxes on our own. So, baliktad. But because nga, masyadong marami sa atin ng empleyado, we think that, kasi yung corporation naman yung nagpa-file, which is substituted filing. So, tama ka naman doon. It's really the corporation who withholds a certain amount and then they give you a form called 2316.
Yes.
Now, but because of, let's say, the pandemic, you need extra sources of income, you have side things, no?
Sideline,
Yeah, sideline. Hindi ko alam side bracket, side things.
Side hustle.
Diba? So, maraming side. So if you want to start a business or get into a profession, no, or
racket,
or sell something, it's really, you really have to register that as a business or a profession. When I say profession, kasi you always think, diba, na parang, professional, ibig ba sabihin ni Ginger, doctor, engineers, kanya? No, not only, no. When I say profession, you are practicing an act, basically, no. You're let's say you're selling, you're a professional, you're into digital marketing, you're a writer, photographer, videographer, all of these people, a vlogger. So all of these people are professionals, okay? So you still have to register your profession or business. So that is now, when you say mixed income, like what you said kanina, medyo ang gulo na kasi ang daming nangyayari, diba? So mixed income, this is when you are an employee and at the same time practicing a profession or you have a business. It doesn't mean na ang dami mong negosyo and yun yung ginagawa mo, mixed income. No. That's basically just running businesses and professions. No? Mixed income sa law really means, if you're a mixed income individual, it's again, employee plus business or profession. So marami, pwedeng kang may 5 kang business, pero employee ka pa rin, mixed income ka. Pero pag may 5 business ka, business lang yan. No? So uli from business lang yan. So those are the, basically the things ang dami kong parang iniisip ngayon, but yun yung mga things that I want to say.
Hindi, pero Ginge, kung ganyan, ibig sabihin, sasabihin na natin na definitely, meron kang personal income tax, which is the the 2316, pero at the same time, kailangan ka pa rin mag-file separately Kailangan pa rin mag-file separately, pero ibig sabihin, kailangan meron ka rin BIR registration.
Yes.
Anong ibig sabihin ng BIR registration? Dapat meron kang pang-invoice, meron kang OR, na because ito yung ifa-file mo on a monthly and quarterly. So, on top of the corporate, meron ka pang additional registration. Yun yung we want to clarify with everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
at the end of the day, no matter what, you have to file taxes. Sabi nga nila you can get away from anything except taxes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like sila Al Capone, saan sila nahuli? Hindi sa murder, sa taxes.
Taxes.
Yun. So just to add to that, no. So, 'di ba, nabanggit nga natin yung withholding taxes kanina, no. So, only a few kasi are withholding tax agents. But the normal or the most common types of taxes is basically income tax, and then you have your sales taxes, no, your business taxes, which is either percentage tax or VAT. So when you say percentage tax, these are the sales tax that non-VAT entities need to pay. And then for VAT, obviously, these are the taxes that VAT entities need to pay. So meron kang ganon, so meron kang sales or business tax, meron kang income tax. And then yearly, you have your registration fee with the BIR that you need to pay. So yun yung mga common types of taxes. And then when you employ people, you also have to pay compensation taxes, no? So in terms of pala dun sa percentage versus VAT, percentage is paid on a quarterly basis, VAT is paid on a monthly basis naman. Tapos sa income tax naman, it's paid on a quarterly basis as well. Compensation is paid on a monthly basis. And then if you are a withholding tax agent, you also pay it on a monthly basis. Pero when I say monthly, there are some of them have different forms. So iba-iba yung forms that you file. Like for example, if you're VAT, you have your 2550M for the month, and then the quarter you have 2550Q. So pero just to simplify, I just mentioned the frequency of filing.
Yeah. Question. So we want, siguro for a lot of people, for sure, there are a lot of professionals versus really professionals in terms of rather than corporations or partnership. So with that, if you were to look at it, VAT versus non-VAT, what is the difference?
It's really just the threshold. Yun lang naman talaga yung difference. And in terms of you mean in terms of taxes, types of taxes that you need to pay. Okay.
Yung VAT and non-VAT, kunyari ako ngayon nagde-decide ako, should I be under non-VAT? Although, should I be non-VAT because it's under 3 million? Or should I already go for VAT? Kasi yung VAT, kasi when I looked at the calculation, di ba meron kayong mga dyan, pag kinalculate mo, meron ka pang input VAT, meron ka pang VAT input, VAT output. Parang lumalabas, mas worth it ang VAT kesa non-VAT.
Actually, it doesn't really matter, no? It's up for you to decide. Kasi at this point in time, like, let's say, ako, personal opinion ko, I'll give you my personal opinion. I can start with that. Pero if I know that I can't hack, like paying on a monthly basis or preparing on a monthly basis, and it will take me time to prepare that, then I would rather go for non-VAT, no? And alam kong hindi naman ako aabot ng 3 million. In terms of non-VAT naman, it's just paid on a quarterly basis. Tapos, I can even opt for the 8% kasi walang ganun pag VAT entity ka, diba? The 8%. And right now, with the CREATE law, kasi may bagong law, yung CREATE, so they even brought down yung percentage tax to 1% na lang instead of 3%. So,
wow.
So, yeah. So, talagang they're making it easier for people actually to start businesses now. So, yun nga eh. And if you use, like, for example, Taxumo, not to not to hard sell, no, or something, but it's a digital platform. So regardless na ngayon yung effort kasi that it entails, diba? So like, if you just have a lot of things that you need to encode, dun na lang siguro, no, yung effort. But wala, yung difference talaga, that's why sabi ko, I think it really just boils down to yung threshold. Because there's not much of a difference.
Yeah. Paano na-judge, kunyari, during the year, akala mo below 3 ka, tapos biglang naging more than 3. Paano na yun?
Yun yung hassle. Kasi if you honestly know that you're gonna be 3M now within the year, just go for VAT, no? Like on the onset, if you know na lalaki yung business mo ng 3M. Pero hindi naman sobrang hassle because you just have to change the documents, no? You have to change your certificate of registration, and then the BIR will change yung mga types of taxes that you need to pay from non-VAT, basically from percentage to VAT, and then income tax still stays the same. It's the same naman for everyone. No? We pay income tax, and then you have your registration fee. So yeah, that's basically the ang nakikita ko most of these small businesses, yun yung 3 types of taxes lang naman that you actually need to pay for.
So let's say you're now like me, I'm a coach, right? But if you're offering services for people out there separately, let's say you're a graphic designer artist, you're a nawala ka, Jeff, ha? Bigla ka nawala.
Oo nga. Kinain ng taxes yung internet ko. Anyway, sige, coach, go ahead.
So, tinatanong ko si Judge, paano na kunyari graphic designer ka or whatever in terms of your profession? Pagkatapos ngayon, binabayaran ka yearly. From monthly naging yearly. Biglang nag-bloat na yung nag-bloat na siya. So, yun yung change na sinasabi ko. So, from non-VAT, bigla na lang siya magiging VAT. Hindi na siya personal income tax, no? Magiging na siya, professional talaga, no? Professional tax talaga siya.
Well, ang papalitan lang talaga is basically from percentage tax, you pay VAT already. So, ganon. Papalitan lang that particular type of tax. Or in some cases kasi, so talagang VAT ka na, diba? Kasi your TIN is basically, that's the basis for BIR for everything. That's why we're allowed just one TIN if it's something done by ourselves, no? Be it a sole proprietorship that you build or a professional career that you establish. So we just have one OR. That OR depends on like gaano kalayo yung types of businesses mo from each other. For a certain type of business, they create a branch. That is why, for example, your TIN is, let's say, number. Diba sa dulo may 000? For another type of business, it becomes 001. And then for another kind of business na malayo din sa mga currently ginagawa mo, 002. So, like a person can have that because yung last 3 digits, those are what determines ilan yung negosyo mo basically. Parang ganun.
Okay. That's so interesting. Jeff, ikaw, may question ka kay Ginge?
Actually, meron, coach.
VAT or non-VAT ka ba, Jeff?
Non-VAT kami, coach, kasi as professional. So, I have someone filing our taxes. So, yun nga, below the threshold. Tapos, ewan ko, parang madali na 3% na lang yung ibawas kasi we don't have receipts din to file. Pero anyway, yung naisip kong question.
Resibo?
Well, hindi, I mean, I'm not sure if tama din yung pagkakagets ko kasi I want to have the lowest taxable income possible. I don't have any businesses naman to get receipts from that I can file if I were to be a VAT registered professional. So I know some advisors na they register themselves under VAT kasi they have side businesses. So parang they use those receipts.
Pero yun ang interesting na gusto ko lang na-share ni Jeff. Yeah.
Advantage.
Yan ba yung
Ako kasi wala. So,
Jeff, nawala ka na naman. Nawala. Every time ka mag-FB Live, si Jeff parating nawawala.
Nakain na nga ng tax.
Yeah.
So, let's validate or clarify. Let's confirm lang what Jeff is saying. Ang sinasabi niya, kaya non-VAT sila, is because he wants to pay the 3% of gross sales. Jeff, nawawala ka pa rin.
Choppy ka, Jeff.
So, ang kinakwento lang ni
nawala
Jeff.
Na?
Nawala ka eh.
Naglalag.
Nagba-break. Ayun. Yun. So, the same time though, Jen, ang sinasabi ko siguro, kunyari, kunyari meron kang, pwede mong may cost of goods ka na ilalagay na resibo, siguro pwede ka sa VAT. Kasi meron siyang, parang may deductibles kuno
Yeah.
yun. Deductible.
Ganito. Kasi ganito yan eh. For percentage tax, it's always a percentage of your gross revenue. So I'll go through like the basics of like computing, no? For VAT naman, it's always your input minus your output tax. So when you say input, ito yung dinadagdag natin sa whatever amount that you charge, no? So let's say 10,000 yung gusto kong kitain, dinadagdagan ko siya ng 12%. So what I tell the client is yung 10,000 plus 12%. And then I pay the 12% as VAT basically. So yung VAT na yon, ma-minus ko yung mga resibo ko. So yung resibo ko, hindi rin yung total expenses, but the 12% of the receipts. So ganun siya. That's how you get the taxable income for income taxes. So ganun siya. So for that. Pero usually yun nga eh. Usually for non-VAT, it's your income less expenses. But then you have yung mga stuff, yung mga sinasabi ni Jeff na hindi kasi masyadong marami rin yung expenses ko. So anong i-declare ko, 'di ba? No minus. So malaki kasi wala siyang ibabawas na expenses regardless of VAT or non-VAT siya, 'di ba? So magna-non-VAT na lang siya because meron ding like kunwari 8%. So alam niya na papatungan ko na lang yung price ko ng 8% and then that's what I pay to the government, 8%, and that's it. So yun yung 8% option na tinatawag mo. So there are things like that. And then you have your optional deduction methods, 2 types of deduction methods, which is basically itemized deduction. So if you're itemized, you're telling BIR, all of my expenses you have to take into consideration when you get your taxable income. No, your taxable income. So lahat ng resibo na i-declare ko, those are my expenses. Optional standard deduction naman is 40% of your gross earnings. You're telling the government that 40% are my expenses. Hindi ko na siya kailangan i-itemize sa inyo or isa-isahin, but do know na 40% of what I earn are my expenses. So there are those things that you actually declare. And those things, no, for example, the tax rate and the deduction method, these are chosen at the beginning of the year. So that's the only time that you can choose it. So hindi ka pwede palipat-lipat. Like this quarter, parang OSD ako. Next quarter, ay, ang dami kong resibo, mag-itemize ako, parang gano'n. Hindi pwedeng gano'n. So it's just one type of tax rate and deduction method for the entire year. Ganon siya. So yung 8%, go ahead.
Sabi lang ni Jeff, lumalabo daw internet namin. Kaya nasa audience siya, Jeff! Bumalik ka na.
Sayang.
Kakainis every time tayo merong FB Live, palpak yung internet. Nakakainis talaga. So anyway, Jen, that's so clear. But right now, I think for everyone out there, I hope that it's really helpful for you to understand whether you want non-VAT or VAT. And you already have also shared by Jeff. Si Jeff, non-VAT. Sabi nga niya, gusto niya straight whatever, 3% done. Wala na siyang problema. At saka meron siyang, at least for him, meron din siyang accountant na nagpa-file for him every quarter. So okay yun. So ngayon, for those who want VAT, sabi nga ni Ginger, meron kang input and output. So actually, that's meaning meron kang mga resibo that you can use.
Yeah.
That will really help you in that aspect. But then, what's the bottom line for VAT ba? How many percent ba ang VAT talaga?
Ang VAT is 12% talaga. 12% VAT talaga sa atin. So, if you're thinking of the price of your service, no, especially yung mga professionals natin, services naman normally. So, dadagdagan mo ng 12%. So, ganun na lang when you think of it, no. So, yeah.
Question daw ni Jeff. How does Taxumo come into play in encouraging people to get their taxes filed despite the hassle and all?
Yeah. So, all of the things naman sa Taxumo are done online. So, literally, hindi mo talaga kailangan matuto ng computation and all of these things, no? I think the only thing is really just getting registered, no? Kasi dun yung ibe-base ng system yung kanyang yung settings, no, yung profile niya. So, kung sinabi ng government na kailangan na non-VAT ka, edi non-VAT ilalagay mo doon or percentage tax, no. Kung kailangan mo magbayad ng VAT, then VAT. The only thing that you need to do is input your income and expenses. Yung gross revenue ninyo at lahat ng mga expenses nyo, ilagay nyo na lang. Basically, ganun lang siya. And then the system automatically computes for the tax dues already. Ang maganda
Basta may receipt. Expenses, pero dapat may resibo.
May supporting document talaga.
Importante yun OR. Hindi siya pwedeng papel. Hindi lang siya pwedeng papel na nakasulat.
Oo, kasi coach, kailangan mong itago yan eh. So, in the event na later on, ma-pick ka for audit, no, or to be examined, you have to present all of those supporting documents to the person and all of your filing. So, basically, so that's what you do. Ang maganda with Taxumo, you get to see your tax dues real time. So, if naglagay ako ng income right this minute, alam ko right away how much yung taxes that I need to pay sa next due date. So, itatabi ko na siya. Hindi ko nagagastusin yung gagastusin ko for tax. So, I get to basically prepare. Hindi ako nape-penalize because I'm ready. Pagdating ng tax due, natabi ko na yung money that I need to pay.
So, si Taxumo ba, meron ba siyang account wherein nandyan na yung tax mo?
Oh, you just see the amount. So, you have to set it aside. It's a personal account nyo. So, if you have an account that you basically doon mo nilalagay, tapos before the tax deadline, so you pay for it, then it's
How
fine.
How do you pay now? Let's say I'm already gonna pay for this month, for the quarter. How do I pay Taxumo now?
Yes.
Do I give them transfer? Anong way?
Maraming ways. Yun yung maganda rin. So we have a lot of ways. So if you have GCash, if you have PayMaya, if you have debit or credit cards, if you have GrabPay even, if you load your GrabPay accounts, you can pay via GrabPay. You can pay via a 7-Eleven. Kung meron kang 7-Eleven sa baba, you can pay via 7-Eleven, Cebuana, Robinsons. Bank transfers are also okay. So meron kami mobile banking, online banking. So whatever kind of payment channel meron actually kami.
Wow,
so the usual payment channels that you use.
Pero ganin, yung mga documents na yan, because it's in the system already, as a entrepreneur and you're the one filing the taxes, do I still need to keep a hard copy?
Well, okay, so ganito, this is what happens now. So we file your filings to the BIR, and then we course your payments through an authorized bank as well of the BIR, kasi they are just mga authorized banks, no. So we course it through them. You get the same BIR confirmation, which is uploaded into your system, your Taxumo system. You also get your proof of payment, which is there. And another thing, Coach, people tend to forget that they need to submit yung attachments. So some of filings have attachments. Like VAT has an attachment of SLSP, Summary List of Sales and Purchases. And then you have QAP for expanded withholding. You have SAWT for your 1701. So yung mga income taxes, no? So attachments means, to simplify, may listahan kang kailangan i-submit sa BIR as well. So ganun siya. So if you have those, when you file through Taxumo, that is also submitted to the BIR. So you also get a confirmation from that, no? So the thing that you need to do na lang is for your SAWT, yung isang attachment for income tax, meron ding separate system si BIR where you have to submit all of these. Yung EAFS, if you're familiar with that.
Pero will you be the one to help? Kunyari, I don't know anything. Will you be the one to give us instructions na lang when we're under Taxumo?
Yes, actually, we have daily onboarding sessions. So it's free if you want to learn like how to use Taxumo. Even if you take it today, you take it tomorrow, you take it again, alam mo yun, it's fine. So our customer advocates teach you how to use the system. And then if may questions kayo, just feel free to chat with Taxumo using our chat button sa baba. When you go to taxumo.com, there's this button on the lower right side, and ask us anything like how to use the system. No? But if it comes to, let's say, paano to kino-compute and all of those things, the more technical, we have CPA partners that they can talk to. Ito yung mga partners namin na CPAs. They can go to Taxumo Consult. So yun, nasa site din yun, where they can ask like questions sa CPA talaga if there are more like, syempre yung customer advocates namin, it's more of how to use the system.
Yes, process.
The process. And then if it's more like the technical questions, no, we have CPA partners for that there.
Okay, so last question regarding tax filing. How many years should you keep documents for taxes?
Oh yeah, for taxes, 10 years eh. So that's what the law states. Kailangan 10 years. So I have a big, for my other business, yung events, I have a big filing cabinet here kung saan ko sinostore lahat ng receipts ko from 2013. So moving forward, no? So,
paano na nag-close na yung business? Let's say, hindi ko, nag-close na ba yung Manila workshop?
No. We're still here. We're still active.
Right. So, pero paano na for those businesses that closed already?
For those that closed, you will have to go to your RDO and they will ask you like for certain documents, they will check your records if you're complete or not.
Okay.
If you're not complete, no, in terms of filing, you have to pay the penalties. This is the reason why during the pandemic, Coach, we came out with a special product called Taxumo Lifeline. So Lifeline is for dormant businesses, meaning wala akong kinikita, wala akong expenses at this point in time. Ayokong isara yung business because wala akong pambayad sa pang-close. Alam mo yun? So I just want to keep it going. I want to file zero. So we have what we call Taxumo Lifeline. So Taxumo Lifeline is just 2,400 a year. We help you set it up, basically just sets up, and it automatically files zero taxes na continuously. So you don't skip a deadline. Yeah.
That's
so yun,
interesting.
maraming ganon. So, well, I wouldn't say fortunate, no? Unfortunately, there are like a few people really na talagang walang business mula ng 2020. And obviously that's a sad thing. But yeah, so we sort of like thought of this particular product really to help out yung entrepreneurs natin na wala naman talaga pambayad at this point in time just for filing. Diba? Filing zero. You can't really like set aside payment for an accountant because walang-wala ka at this point in time. So we set that up. So that's our product, Taxumo Lifeline.
Hi Marie, good evening. Baka may questions ka for us. Good evening. Itong si Marie, at least siguro twice a month ka parating na sa Facebook Live na dyan. Sabi niya, nice topic daw. I know, right? Lalo na for entrepreneurs, a lot of people now, especially for millennials, majority of millennials are actually going into entrepreneurship on top of their corporate jobs or on top of their normal income. And so I think millennials nowadays are very, very entrepreneurial, yung spirit nila. Diba? And they're always thinking, what's next for me? What's next for me? Sobrang energy, grabe. So, but also you need to also let you know that it's important for you to file taxes as well. For all those that are not even, kahit na Shopee kayo, si Shopee kaya, paano sila, no? Hindi sila na-file ng taxes. Si Shopee mismo, paano nila alam kung ano yung, hindi ba marami siyang stores under them? Hindi ba, alam niya kung magkano yung benta? So, paano na yan? Di nakikita ni BIR lahat ng stores under Shopee.
Meron na kasing parang ruling na parang sinasabi si BIR na later on, these big e-commerce or even yung mga kailangan na nila mag-withhold. So, so they need to withhold.
Pero automatic na lang.
Yes. Diba when we were, well, hindi naman, but that's really for really compliance then of the sellers under their wing.
Exactly.
So diba yung sinabi natin kanina, we were talking about the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So that's how it works, no? So
hindi na rin sila makakalusot.
Oo. So talagang we're encouraging a lot of people na talagang, I mean, at the end of the day, this is the right thing to do, no? If we're sort of like trying to help our country and trying to help one another, this is I mean, this is what we should do. Kasi sa yun nga, very, very forgiving naman yung batas. Like when you don't earn, you just declare zero, diba? You file pa rin, but you declare zero. But when you earn, then that you declare. So I guess it's kind of fair rin when you think about it, no? And right now nga with Create, diba, they've dropped like corporate taxes and even percentage taxes, no, for individuals. So from 3 naging 1, corporate taxes have been dropped around 25%. So yeah, so yun I think I don't know, kailangan na nating tulungan yung bansa natin. I don't know like how the government is like funding, I guess marami tayong debt and all of those things. So if we don't want na umutang pa yung country natin, like I mean, let's do our part to also help one another.
Yeah, I guess maybe the reason why I'm just I'm just thinking kanina pa, what's really in it for them? I mean, that's a question I'm always asking when it comes to taxes. Kasi when you talk about it and a lot of people are not getting anything from the government, I guess the mindset is, should I even pay my taxes? I'm not getting anything out of it. So I just want to put it out there as well, because that's a lot of mindset, right? That's a lot of people who think this way. Wala naman nakukuha. Pero for me, guys, even though once lang tayo nagbayad ng unemployment, lang ng 2020, isang beses lang ng unemployment. Actually, ang importante makikita natin, kasi parang lahat ng pera ng taxes natin napupunta din sa pagtulong sa mga mahihirap. Parang yun nakikita ko. So, walang return, but it's actually going back to helping those that are the most unfortunate in the country. And one thing din I super appreciate is really the COVID vaccine nowadays is going to be free for everyone who just registers. And that's not cheap, right? It's not cheap to set it up. Just setting up the space for appointments, technology, everything, it's not going to be, they still have to have money for that. So maybe that's something that for us to do our part as well.
That's true. Yeah, that's true, no? Like I mean, if you think of employees, and a lot of our kababayans are employees, they pay taxes because they're withholdan sila. So if we start a business, I guess if that's the only thing that we do, no, like in business and profession, and wala tayong employment, we really need to also like contribute, no? And I think also, no, in terms of like maturity also when it comes to, if gusto mo talagang kumita from this sort of racket that you started, and later on, I mean, diba? It starts that's how it starts. It starts as a hobby, it starts as a sideline, it starts as a racket. But later on, you have big dreams for yourself and for your business. Then you have to start doing it well and right. Because there will come a time na you wished you could have just started correctly. And decisions talaga for the business all boils down to your knowledge of how your finances are, how well you manage your cash flow, how well you manage your all of these things, no, in terms of finance, no. So dun ka gumagawa ng decisions. You base your decisions on what you know, diba? So if you don't know yung ultimong magkano ba kinikita ko buwan-buwan, diba? Or magkano ba yung ginagastos ko buwan-buwan for my business, if you don't know those, I think it's about time that we start knowing that. And so basically, no, like right now kasi for the Philippines, having credit standing is not that popular yet. So that's why, like in terms of like loans, we still get really high interest rates because nga kumukuha tayo ng loans na hindi mga banks. Kasi hindi naman tayo allow ng banks kasi wala kang ipapakitang document. Hindi ka nagbabayad ng tax nasa ITR mo.
Not only that, wala kang property, wala kang, diba? I mean,
wala. You don't have, if that's the only thing
collateral
that you're from your business, what will you show if you're not paying taxes? Malamang ang hihingin sa inyo kasi is your income tax forms, diba? Your tax forms. And what will you show? Wala kang ipapakita. Hindi ka naman pwedeng gumawa ng payslip sa sarili mo, diba? So, hindi ka naman, diba? So, fraud na yun. Hindi ka naman talaga, hindi mo dineclare yung sarili mo as sa dole or sa I don't know, SEC and DTI and all of these government agencies, diba? So, yeah, so talagang it's mostly your tax forms that will help you later on enjoy also the fruits of your labor, no? So hindi ka naman magka-cash for a house or magka-cash for a car, 'di ba? I mean, if you're really liquid and you're rich, then fine, it's good na i-cash mo yung
You
buo.
have to
Pero
pay
it's
taxes.
super parang imposible kasi I think most of us still need to get loans pa rin, 'di ba? And the good rate at that, 'di ba? So these are the things that we present when we have to have
Yeah.
good rates, no?
Yeah.
But
Maybe
yeah,
that's the reason why, Ginge, a lot of people really want corporate jobs is because it's easier for the Philippines in terms of taxes because taxes in the Philippines are so complicated. But now, because we're very clear already, so everyone who's out there, it's very clear that you really need to pay taxes. My suggestion is really go for non-VAT, which is 3% gross sales. Whether you're selling in Shopee, Facebook, whether you're selling Shomai frozen, right? Whatever it is that you do, if you're really not making money, then 3% of gross sales, or you want VAT, but at least lahat ng resibo mo para maging expense yan, kailangan mo pakita. Para at the end of the day, whatever you're selling minus your expenses, then you get the 12% there. Eh, kung wala ka rin naman kinikita, di zero babayaran mo, which is good. Pero
yeah.
ang difference is ng VAT is monthly, yung non-VAT quarterly. Pero kung nandiyan naman si takso mo, what does it matter?
Yes. Ang sa akin actually, no, I'll take it a step back pa, Coach. I think at this point in time, talagang they need to pay taxes because they need to understand then also yung financial history mo. And alam mo, marami kaming clients na nag-register para ipitin nila yung sarili nila with dreaming big. Like wala na eh. I mean, this is it. Let's go for it. I mean, if you're gonna start a business and you're really dead serious about it, or even a profession, and you're serious that gusto mong lumaki to, regardless of vlogging yan, Lazada,
Yeah.
Shopee, selling,
Yeah.
or whatever, if you're bent on making it a big business, then what's stopping you, diba? I mean, it's not,
Yeah.
taxes is not a barrier for you to stop those dreams, no, from happening. It's
Right.
really just a help in you understanding that what kinds of decisions that you're gonna make later on when you're in it. So it's that eh. So for example, yung sinabi mo expenses nila, I don't even know if they know kung gaano karami yung gastos nila at a specific point in time, diba? So
Yeah, I
so
mean, ads pa lang, Ginger. Facebook ads, YouTube ads pa lang.
mm-mm.
One-time hit ng YouTube ads in the month, you have to, if 500 pesos yan, that's 7,000 minimum per month. That's already an expense.
Yeah, so
At
talagang we
7,
need to track.
so if you're earning, if your profit is only so small, tanggalin mo yan, di wala ka nang babayaran if ever. Pero the more, malay mo ba, sobrang ganda ng Facebook ads mo. Nag-double up lahat ng business mo. So, walang kwenta na yung 7,000 na yan kahit na
Yeah.
magbayad ka ng tax kasi tataas at tataas lang yung earnings mo.
Yeah.
Diba?
So
There
yeah,
are two ways. There are two ways to see it all the time. So anyway,
exactly.
Ginge, I super appreciate your time. Kakainis si Jeff. Wala na naman tong si
Thank you.
Jeff Doolittle. Thank you so much. I super learned a lot actually because this is my foray into entrepreneurship as well, and it has really helped me a lot as well. And I hope for those who are watching out there, kahit na sa replay, if you have any questions, please send it to us, and we will share it with Ginger, and I'll give you the responses from Ginger for everything. Or you go directly to Taksumo, and then you can learn everything from there. As well as for those CPAs or accountant that are really looking for freelance job, nandyan din ang Taksumo.
Yes.
Imagine nyo,
lahat.
lahat na sa kanila
Lahat
na.
na.
Okay? So, for people who need an extra income, nandyan na rin si Ginger. So, please send her a message as well if you really want to pursue that. And I know that this is the right time to actually pursue that for all those entrepreneurs. And there are now 88,000 online businesses and 900,000 newly registered business in the Philippines in 2020. It's time to pay our dues. even though it's zero and it's just starting, let's start it now. So with that, thank you everyone once again for sharing and being with us tonight. Thank you so much, Ginger. Ang ganda
Thank
ng conversation
you.
natin. Pwede bang maulit? We
Yes,
hope that we can
yes.
invite you again in the
Sure.
coming months. And
Yes, sure.
congratulations, Ginge, on your new
Thank
baby.
you.
Kahit nasa
Thank you,
ano
sir.
ka. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff, also.
Jeff,
Nasaan ka
pwede ba
man?
bumalik ka? Jeff, pwede ba
Kung
bumalik ka?
nasan ka man. Thank
Oo.
you.
Thank you, everyone. So with that, good night, everyone. And wait lang, Ginge, don't leave yet. Good night.
Okay.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.